Guys, welcome back. I'm sure that you've seen something about this already, but if you haven't, then this is something which is it's in the sun, so make of that what you will. Obviously it's going to be taken with a huge grain of salt, but sometimes there are snippets of truth to these rumours that are going around. Apparently Eze is possibly the subject of a transfer bid by Newcastle United. Now obviously they've just been taken over by very rich owners and are looking to cement their place in the Premier League. So it looks like Eze is one of the people on their radar, if you believe what you read here. Now it looks as though earlier on in the January transfer window they did look to a £5 million loan deal that for Eze that would be upgraded to a £35 million buyout clause, or right to buy clause. And that was flatly rejected by Crystal Palace, obviously, who didn't want to sell one of their best players, which is of course understandable. But with Newcastle's huge amount of money in their bank now, they think they're confident that they can get Eze to leave Palace at some point in the next transfer window. So it's going to be difficult, I think, for Palace to keep saying no if the money keeps going up. And I'm sure that Newcastle aren't going to break the bank, but they could offer enough for Palace to think to themselves, well, would this be a good bit of business? Because no, I mean he's just recovered from an Achilles injury. He's coming back to full fitness, and obviously Vieira wants to take his time with him. He doesn't want to rush him back in. So he's only played, I think, one game this season so far, but he is one full game this season. But he is a very talented player, and he scored some good goals for us this since he's been here, and I think he's going to be one for the future. I think he's one that will fit into Patrick Vieira's lineup and the way that he likes to play. However, there is a downside to that, and that is obviously we have a Lacey, and Lacey is a very talented individual, and he's been the one that's come off the bench a number of times when we've needed that splash of inspiration. And will there be enough room for Eze, Olise, and Zaha and Gallagher if we keep him? Will there be enough room in the team for Eze as well? That's something you have to think about, isn't it? I know that you want to have strength in depth, but Eze is not going to want to sit on the bench for 6 to 8 months of the season waiting to get his chance. He's not going to want to do that, and neither will any of the others. So it's a possibility that if Newcastle come in with a huge bid, Palace might be tempted to take it and think, well, okay, with this we can buy maybe 3 or 4 young players who are coming through the ranks, give us a bit more strength in depth, give us some more talent in the park, things like that. You never know. I mean, MacArthur is getting older, Ward is getting older, and and these players are going to need to be replaced eventually with somebody else. But when you think about our strongest midfield, I think this season, the strongest midfield that we've had has been MacArthur, Gallagher and Kayute in the middle. I think that's been a very strong, solid midfield. But with that, you only we're going to have one outstanding, talented player in the middle. So it'd be Gallagher, or it'll be a Lacey perhaps, in the middle, but he's more of a front player, or Eze. And you've also got Hughes in the middle to come in. So there's strength in depth within the team. Maybe Patrick Vieira is thinking that he doesn't necessarily need Eze, or can't fit him into the team. I know Eze and Olise have played together. On I think one occasion they played together for any decent length of time, and although they worked well together, is that something that Patrick Vieira will be wanting long term, or will he want more stability in the midfield? Will he want more, more options between talented players and resilient players who are going to be able to defend and keep the ball and pass it around? So there is a possibility that this could spark a reason for him to go to Newcastle. But then again, Newcastle are not clear of relegation yet, and if he goes to Newcastle, yes, they're more than likely going to bounce straight back into the Premier League, but they're going to go down. And if they do go down, will he want to then be with a club like that? I mean, he's a young player. I'm sure he understands the situation at Newcastle. They want to start playing with the top teams. They want to start competing with the top teams, and there's every chance they're going to do that. Is he going to be a key part of it? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what you think about this, where you think he should go, whether you think he should stay, whether you believe that Palace will sell him, because I think if there is enough money thrown at this, Palace could consider their options. They could say, well, what do we do? I mean, he's still got a couple of years left on his contract, but they could decide to sell him if they believe that that amount of money could then go towards other players they could bring in or things like that. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments and also on Twitter what you think about this, whether you think Eze will stay or go. I think it's one of these things that everyone, once Palace get good players, everyone is in the news saying they want to buy them. It happens to Palace. But I wonder whether this is actually going to happen or not. Let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.